Hey YouTube, this is Bing147 coming at you here in my new place. Hope the color's okay on this. I was having some difficulty getting it right. If I open the blind, it's way too bright in here. If I natural light, it just with the lamp, it just doesn't seem quite bright enough. I think I found a balance with a little bit of natural light and with the lamp, but let me know if it doesn't look good. Anyway, I'm here to bring you my pickups from the last month, actually. I was actually going to go back to the start of June, but I realized right at the start of June I had a really big pickup that would take forever, and I already have an insane amount to show you. This is already going to take a long time. So I decided to cut it for the last 30 days. I've actually been hunting a lot less this last month. I've been going out very little, trying to actually spend time playing my games, which I've been doing a great job at. I've gone from hunting like 3-4 days a week to 1 or 2, usually just garage sale day, but sometimes I hit a couple of thrift stores or stuff if I'm by them. Haven't gone out of my way to a thrift store or a pawn shop once, though. I am today because I actually have to meet some people over by some of my best spots, and I don't get over there very much since I moved, so I am going to stop in and just see what they have. But anyway, I've been trying to keep the spending down. I think I've been doing an okay job. I'm actually not out very much out of pocket for all of this because it's garage sale season, and I'm finding a lot of stuff for me, but also a lot of great stuff I can flip. So as I go, some of this stuff is part of something that I picked up that I flip part of it back. Almost always because I had a dupe. I'd actually try not to sell anything I don't have a dupe of, unless it's just complete junk. But so if there's more to the pickup that I don't have anymore, I'll let you know. And when I say the amounts I bought, some of the stuff I bought online, and when I tell you how much I spent, keep in mind, none of that, not $1, except for one item, which is only like $20. Not $1 besides that $20 is out of pocket. It's all from flipping and stuff like that. So I'm not saying this stuff didn't cost me anything. You know, I go out garage sailing, and I do pay for the stuff there. But if I spent like, well, just an example, $50 or $80 on something, I didn't actually spend $50 or $80 on it. I mean, I did, but it's probably like something I bought for $10. I flipped for that $80. So anyway, let's get into it because it's already going to take long enough, and we're 2 minutes in already. First pickup I want to show you was right at the beginning of this time period. Stopped at a garage sale. I didn't think I was going to get to go out that much that weekend. So when I saw some old games, I kind of wanted them. The lady wanted $5 a piece for them, which seemed like too much. But she wouldn't come down much. She agreed to do 2 for $8 if I bought 2 of them. And I didn't have either of these, and I haven't seen a lot of Super Nintendo in a while. So not great or anything, but I picked up Spider-Man for the Super Nintendo, and for the Sega Genesis, RoboCop 3 in the box. It is missing the manual, but the game's in there and is in really good shape. I haven't played this yet. I don't know if it's any good. I kind of have heard it's not, but we'll see. Only other Super Nintendo game actually I think I picked up this month. This was 75 cents at a garage sale about a week later. It's called On the Ball. Not a valuable game or anything like that, but 75 cents. I didn't have it, and I love the Super Nintendo, so it's good to pick it up. Moving on. These 5 were all at a pawn shop for $1.99 a piece. I don't go out of my way to buy Atari games, but these are all like $5, $6 games, like not super expensive ones, but all ones I didn't have, and for $2 a piece I thought they were worth picking up. Got Dragonfire, Keystone Capers, Frogger. You gotta have Frogger, right? I didn't have it, so now I do. Donkey Kong Jr. and Adventure. Gotta get the stickers off a lot of these still, as you'll see as we keep going. Moving on, these aren't necessarily in order I picked them up. Some of them are just trying to knock some of the kind of ones out first, to be honest. Picked this up for $1 at a garage sale. It is Snafu for the Intellivision. Oh, there goes the manual and the overlays and stuff, and there went the cartridge. Stuff falling everywhere. You can see the overlays actually still in there. Here is the cartridge. It's complete. It's got the manual. That's what just went flying. I can get that in a minute. Hi, we're up close and personal. Anyway, yeah, that's Snafu for $1. I wouldn't pay much, but I don't have a lot of games for my Intellivision, so for $1 I said, what the heck. Where's the other part of this? Somewhere. Maybe this gets held off until I can figure out where I do with the other half of it. It's here somewhere in this giant pile of junk. Anyway, moving on. Got a couple of well, we got a PlayStation game I'll show you for the moment. Found this at a Goodwill for $1.99. Omega Boost. It is complete. Yeah, the case has a broken thing. I didn't just break that off. It's been like that. But for $1.99, I've heard this is a good game. I tried it out, actually, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad to get that. Also got a copy of Worms Armageddon, just a disc for $1 at the same time, but I flipped that already, so that's gone. Let's see, what else do we have here? There's a lot. It's not a matter of do I have anything to show you. It's a matter of finding what I want to show you. We'll do this one next. These were all on the same day. This sale kind of bugged me. I got these each for $1 a piece, which was nice, definitely. But it was annoying because I walked up as a guy was carrying away a complete in-box Nintendo 64, the Star Wars Episode 1 Racer bundle. Amazing shape. It was $20. He also got a copy of Metal Gear Solid for $1 at the sale. He had that as well. He left these behind, so he's probably not. Maybe he's a guy who likes the old games. Maybe not a real collector or flipper or anything. Because some of these are pretty decent for $1 a piece, definitely. Just glad to get them. Die Hard Trilogy. I've heard good things about that. Die Hard Trilogy 2. I've heard less good things about that, but what the heck. For $1. Parasite Eve. And that is complete with the manual and the, I believe it's a demo disc of something or another. Yeah, it's a Final Fantasy VIII and... No, it's got a Xenogears playable demo and then movies of Final Fantasy VIII, Bushido Blade 3, Brave Fencer Musashi. Yeah, it's cool. For $1. You know, I already had that one, but it was just disc only. I usually don't upgrade games. Like, if you guys know, and you'll see from on, I'm okay with disc only. I don't mind them at all. But for $1 in that nice a shape, I said I'm going to grab it. I'll sell my disc only when I can make more than $1 on that. Also picked up a complete copy of Resident Evil 2 from them. Yeah, nice, really nice shape. Again, I already had it disc only, but for this nice a shape and to have the case is cool for $1, especially when I can make back more than that easily on the original disc only copy I had. Also picked up a copy of Resident Evil Director's Cut from them for $1, but I already flipped that. Next sale didn't have any games out, but when I asked what they had, they pulled out a big box from their garage. It was filthy. Most of the games in it were kind of junk. It was a couple Super Nintendo games, a couple 64 games. I only grabbed 2, one of which was a Mario Kart 64, which I already flipped. That's gone. The other one is this, which was for me. It is Dino Crisis 2. It is complete. It's a little dusty, but it'll clean up fine. And I didn't have it, and I've wanted to play this, actually. The guy wanted actually quite a bit, that's why I didn't just try to buy the whole lot. He wanted $5 a game and like $20 a piece for the systems. I wasn't going to pay that. But I was happy to pay $5 a piece for those 2 games. It was late in the day, or I might have tried to haggle him down a little bit more. But I knew Mario Kart was going to make me back my money on both and then some. So I gave him the $10 and walked on. Okay, next up. Picked this up at a pawn shop that I like to go to that unfortunately I'm not getting to as often. It was $9.99, and I bought it because I've been kind of wanting to play it, actually. I've heard mixed things about it, but that is GoldenEye 007 Reloaded. It is complete. I tried this out, actually. I really did not much care for it. It was fine. It's not bad by any means. It doesn't really remind me of GoldenEye. It reminds me more of like Nightfire and Age of Underfire from the GameCube and all. For good games, and this is a pretty decent game too, but... doesn't really remind me of GoldenEye, and when you're putting that name on there, I really think you should go for that. Also didn't really care for the story changes they did, and all that kind of bugged me. Anyway, then moving on. This was $5 at a garage sale also. I also got at the time a copy of Mario Sunshine. Another one who wanted $5 a piece for their games. They had a bunch, but most of them were junk. They didn't have them out, actually. I had to ask, do you have any games? And they ran in and grabbed their GameCube games. Mario Sunshine I already flipped, but this one I didn't have, actually, surprisingly, so now I do. It is Mario Kart Double Dash. God, that's that light. I'm sorry, guys. I know the lighting's not great. It's complete. $5 a piece, not bad. The Mario Sunshine definitely made me more than that back, so I'm cool with it. Moving on, what do we got? We have a ton still. I'm sorry for the length, guys. This is going to be a really long video. I don't know where the other part of this went. May have dropped it somewhere, because I do not see it here. Anyway, This is not a great find, but whatever. It was complete and in nice shape. Manual is actually, no, it's missing the manual. I apologize. I thought it was complete. It's got the health and safety book, but not the manual. Anyway, still, it was $1. Prism, Light the Way for the DS. It had $2 written on it. I walked up. It said everything's half off. I didn't even have to ask. So for $1, what the heck? Supposedly a kind of a cool puzzle game. It works for me. I'll have some fun with that probably. I guess I'm going to have to just tell you the other half of this. I must have dropped it on the way out here or something. I don't want to go searching for it in the middle of my video. Picked up for $3 and $6. I picked up 2 NES games at a local shop. These were nothing great, probably about the value of them, but this one is Dragon Spirit, which is kind of a cool game. For $3, I was happy to get it. The $6 one was Adventure Island, and it came with the manual and with the dust cover, which is why I paid $6 for it. I didn't have it, actually. Now I do. So that was a cool pickup. I'm glad to get that. Did a trade with an online forum member, which worked out pretty well for me, I think, actually. I got 5 games in it. The games I traded, they were worth about the same as this stuff, probably, but we avoided the eBay fees and all. And that stuff I probably paid all of $20 for, if that. So I was happy with it. Got 5 games from them. First one, Metal Slug, the first mission for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. That was kind of a throw-in. It wasn't one I was actually caring about that much, but it was good to get it. I love the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Got these, the 2 Boktai games for the Game Boy Advance. Oh, wrong way. Been wanting to try those for a long time. Pretty cool to have them finally. The last part of it was these. Baten Kaitos and Baten Kaitos Origins for the GameCube. Both are complete, in fairly nice shape. The case on Baten Kaitos for the first one's a little beat up, but not too bad. I was glad to get those. I think Origins is going to be rare in a few years. I really do. It did not sell, and it's an RPG. The price is already going up a little bit, so I think that's going to be a pricey one down the road. Okay. We're getting to the point where I can sort of at least make my way through this pile. These 3 games were marked a total of $9.75, but I got them for $7. Nothing amazing, but Prince of Persia for the Xbox, that only had 75 cents on it, so I was going to grab that. I've actually been wanting to play it for a while. I'll give it a try. It's complete. Another one I've been wanting to play, this one was missing the manual, unfortunately, but it had $4 on it. The Saboteur disc, no case, and no manual. It's another cool one I kind of been wanting to try. I've heard good things about it. And finally, I probably could have left this and just tried to get a deal on those 2, but they didn't seem to want a deal on that. And for $2.25, I don't really mind. Crash Bandicoot: The Huge Adventure for Game Boy Advance. I wanted $5 for that. That's what really drove that up. But yeah, they made me a package deal, and you know what? I like Crash games. I like the Crash Game Boy games, actually. I've played a couple of them, and they're kind of fun, I think. So, what the heck? Okay. I picked up a GameCube controller. It was $1. Nice shape. I'll flip that. I have plenty. We'll do this. Picked up a Game Boy Advance Live. It was my last find one day. They wanted $15 for it, which they wouldn't come down on. Came with a nice case though. The SP and like 5 games. Most of the games were junk, absolute junk. But I knew the SP I could flip for way more than that. And one of the games I actually wanted, the SP's already gone, flipped and made me some money. But the game I wanted was Yoshi's Island for the Game Boy Advance. I did not have this, so now I do. I had the Super Nintendo version, of course, but it's nice to get that one as well. The other games, I mean, nothing very good. There's a Candyland Chutes and Ladders memory combo. There's Monster Trucks and Quad Desert Fury, Power Rangers SPD, Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase and Mystery Machine. Oh, there was one more, actually. And there's one more I'm actually keeping because I did some research on this. It looked like another junk game. But after some research, this is supposed to be a decent little side-scroller. So I thought I'd give it a try sometime. I'm going to keep it. It's Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest. I like the first movie. The rest kind of stunk. But hopefully the game's better than the movie. That rarely happens, but you never know. Like I said, I've heard some decent things about it. This was a find the same day as Yeah, the same day of Same day I grabbed the Mario Kart and the Dino Crisis and everything, as well as all those PlayStation games. Had a pretty good day that day. Walk up to a garage sale, and the first thing I see is some DS games. Unfortunately, this has the Club Nintendo points. Unfortunately, it is missing the manual, which sucks. But for $5, I wasn't going to pass on it. I know what this goes for. For DS, Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon. And yeah, that's terrible. God, sorry about the glare, guys. Anyway, a lot of the paperwork's in there. The cartridge is in there. $5 was marked on it. I was happy to pay that, if you can see. Sorry about the lighting. I really am. Let me try turning this a little bit, see if it's any better. Probably won't be. But yeah, I asked him if he had any other games, and he ran inside and came back with these. He wanted $5 a piece for these as well. I only had $14.75 left on me, so I gave it to him, and he took it. They were Pokemon Sapphire, which I didn't have, so I'm keeping, and Pokemon Emerald, which I already had, but I'll flip that, and it'll make me some money. Okay, we are getting through it a little bit. I still have a ton to go. We're probably not even halfway through this, honestly, guys. But, we're making some progress, I guess. I may have to split this into 2 videos. A couple of Dreamcast games I've picked up. Nothing great. One of them, though, Metropolis Street Racer, was local. It was $3.99, I think. I didn't have it, so I grabbed it. The other one, Samba de Amigo. I got that on eBay, disc only, for $8 shipped. The reason I did, I should have grabbed these. I'll be right back. Actually, no, I won't. I'm not going to go out and grab them. Maybe I'll add something out at the end, but probably not. Anyway, I got a pair of the official Samba de Amigo Maracos on eBay for $18 shipped. It's something I've been wanting for a long, long, long time. I was thrilled to get it. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So I had to get a copy of the game to test them. They work great. No box, unfortunately. That would have been even cooler. But even with just the maracas, the pad, everything you need to play with them, I'm thrilled to have them. I've been wanting that forever. So yeah, moving on. Picked these up at a half-price Books. Prices were not cheap, but they're cheap for what they are. And I couldn't pass on these. The first one actually is pretty cheap. For $2 in their clearance section, Gallop Racer 2006. Actually, kind of a pricey PS2 title. It is complete in excellent shape. It goes for like $15-20. I knew that actually for some reason, so I grabbed it. Next one, also complete. The manual is a little rough, but everything else is in great shape. It was $19.99, which is more than I usually would pay for a Master System game, but this is the one I've been wanting forever. It's in beautiful shape, so whoever had it took really good care of it. They had a couple other things too, and that's Phantasy Star. As you can see, yeah, it was actually not even out yet. It was behind the counter. I saw a stack of Saturn, Sega CD, and Master System games, so I asked to see them. And they were already priced, so I didn't have to get them at the price, luckily. They also had a copy of Burning Rangers complete for $80, which is an incredible price, but, well, you'll see in a few minutes I didn't need it. And also, despite the fact that I didn't really need it, it was more than I wanted to spend at the time. Anyway, though, yeah, it is complete. The manual could be in a little better shape, but I'll take it. Also grabbed at the same time for $34.99, complete, and this case is in excellent shape. There's no cracks or anything, which you just don't see with these. It's a little more than I would have wanted to spend probably, but in such nice shape. And with the case like this, I just had to grab it. I couldn't leave this behind. It's Lunar the Silver Star. It is complete. It's beautiful. I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of the Lunar games. I prefer the PlayStation remakes, just being completely honest. I think they're better made games and better done. But I still love the original, and it's thrilling to have that. Okay. A couple of eBay purchases. I told you I bought a lot of stuff with eBay with money. I'm selling some of this stuff I told you about. A couple of the items. Disc-only copy Saturn Bomberman. Paid $40 for that. Pretty good price, actually. Disc-only copy of Burning Rangers, which is why I didn't need it at that other place. I think I paid $74 for this, something like that. I've been wanting this for a while. I was really glad to get it. not the cheapest thing in the world by any means. And kind of annoying when the day I was picking that up from the post office is the day I saw the complete copy for almost the same price. Kind of annoying. I didn't want to deal with sending it back, and it was a lot of money to take out of my bank account at that moment. So I left the complete copy. A couple more garage sale finds. Let's go through a few of them real quick. Oh, there goes a disc. These two were disc only for $2.50 a piece. You'll see in a minute why I did it. The 75-cent sticker was not on this. They were disc only, actually, in a case he had. He gave me the case for one of them because he couldn't find anything else to put it in. Dreamcast games, the next Tetris Online for the Dreamcast. Okay. And Sword of the Berserk Guts Rage. Like I said, that was 75 cents was on something else. He has said, here, take this case. $5 for the pair. I was pretty happy with that. Sword of the Berserk alone goes for quite a bit more than that, even disc only. And I've been wanting to play it. These were both cheap. This one was $3 complete. A Boy and His Blob for the Wii. I've been wanting to play that, so I grabbed it for $3. And this one was $2 at a garage sale. Spectral Force 3 for the Xbox 360. I didn't have that, and it's an Atlas game for $2. I wasn't going to pass on it. We are actually getting there a little bit. Okay. Let's do these. Oh, wait a minute. I found the Adventure Island that I was going to show you guys earlier. There's the manual. I didn't make it up, I promise. Okay. This I picked up at a GameStop used, because you don't really see it in this with the case in the manual at GameStop for DS games used. With a coupon I had, it cost me $19, and this is kind of going for quite a bit online. It's Cave Story 3D manual cartridge. I've been wanting to try this out, so I thought for the price, what the heck. Hard to come by that one. Also, this is the one I spent like $22 out of pocket. I only had a few dollars in my PayPal that day, and this was on sale really cheap at Walmart. Just got this in. It came in yesterday, actually. I just started it this morning. I'm really excited to have it, though. That is Animal Crossing New Leaf for the 3DS. The cartridge isn't in there because it's in my 3DS in my pocket. But brand new, I think it was $26 shipped. 22 out of pocket. I was cool with that. Picked these up at local stores. This one was $9.99 at the half price books last week. Final Fantasy Tactics for the PS1. Happy with that. I've been needing a copy. Not a huge fan. I already had the PSP version, so I thought about passing. But I do like Final Fantasy Tactics, so I said I'll give it a shot. Also, this was $5.99 in the local shop. The case is a mess, but the discs are both in really nice shape. And the manual's in nice shape. And the CD holders aren't broken or anything, just the outside of the case is a mess. And that is Metal Gear Solid for the PS1. I was happy for the price. I needed the copy still, especially after missing out on that other one for $1. More online purchases, because why not? Right? Let's do online purchases. This was $50 online, which is a pretty good deal. Disc only, Tales of Destiny. Annoyingly, a couple days after buying this, I saw a complete copy online for $30. It was gone about 6 hours after I bought. I almost bought it anyway and just sold this, but I try not to do that. I didn't feel like doing that at the time, honestly. Also for $20 online, disc only, Vanguard Bandits. Cool, you know, working designs game. I like working designs a lot. These were from a lowball. Oh, no, look at one more online first. This one was, I think, $25, disc only. Tail Concerto. An Atlas game. Cool by me. I didn't have it. I heard good things. Now we'll do these. These were from a lowball that I purchased. This one, I think combined I paid like $18 for the pair. I don't remember how much was each one. But we have Monster Kingdom Jewel Summoner for the PSP. It is not complete. It's in a generic GameStop case. But yeah, this is kind of a rare title actually for the PSP. GameStop sells it cheap, but good luck finding a copy. I tried to order one in before, and I did not have any luck. So when I saw it for a good price in this, I decided to pick it up. It's an Atlas title. Heard mixed things about it, but some people really like it, and for the price and the rarity, I'm glad to get it. I also picked this up here, and this is one I've been wanting for a long time. But I'm always wary of buying Game Boy Advance games online, but this was a reputable guy, and I knew he would know what he's doing, so I grabbed it. And that is Zelda the Minish Cap in a case. Cool to get that. I've been wanting that for a while. Okay, we're getting down a little bit. I grabbed this and a copy of Def Jam Fight for New York for the GameCube for $3 a piece. The Def Jam I already flipped because I already had it. This one I'm keeping because it's a pretty good price for it. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for the Xbox, $2.99 a piece. Missing the manual, but whatever, that doesn't really bother me. I've played San Andreas enough times, I don't need the manual. Good price. Also here, for $15 at a local reseller at a flea market, everything he has is overpriced, but I was bored one day, so I just went through his shop. He's a nice enough guy, he's a little overpriced. But, I was getting a good deal on this for $15. This is the only deal I could find in this entire store. But Beast Wars Transmetals, yeah, it's got the Blockbuster stickers and all, but $15? I wasn't going to pass on that. Shoot. Okay. We're getting down to it a little bit, which is good. Had a lot with this. I don't know if you know what this is, but this is a 3DO controller. It was attached to a system with all the cables. I paid $5 for it with the games. I sold just the system. I kept the controller because I only had one, and I've been looking for more 3DO controllers. So it's cool to get this. $5, plus I made quite a bit of money on the system. It came with 4 games, which I kept all of them. I didn't have any of them. One was disc only, and that is Gex. One I actually wanted. I loved Gex on the PlayStation growing up. I've been wanting the 3DO version because that's where it started, I know. Also got complete in the box copies of A Mercenary, 3D Atlas, and John Madden Football. $5 for the lot, with the system, in all the cords. You can't beat that. I could not have been happier with that. Picked this up for $1. Sonic Advance. What the heck? Didn't have it. I like Sonic games. This one, let's see if I can get it open. I asked this girl if she had any games, and she said, yeah, I have a Game Boy here somewhere, and it was already out, but it was buried, and I could not find it. This case is really hard to get open, to be honest, which is my biggest concern about selling this thing. It doesn't want to open. Let me use both hands. I have gotten it open a few times. It can be done. It's just not easy. There we go. Was a Game Boy Color carrying case. $5 for the lot. Came with the Game Boy Color itself. A few junk games that I'll be moving on, which include Doug's Big Game, Rocket Power, and one that's not by any means junk, but I already had it, in Kirby's Dream Land 2. Came with a worm light, which is always useful for these old Game Boys. Cool case, actually. Plus 4 games I'm keeping because I might someday play them. A couple of them more likely than others, but Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins. Yoshi's Cookie. Madden 2002, I don't know. I don't think I have any handheld football games. It's the only reason I'm keeping that. And Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. The Tony Hawk handheld games are kind of cool. I've played them before, and I actually enjoy some of them quite a bit. So, yeah, I'm cool with keeping that one. Okay, got a few more here. This was an online purchase for $30, which is a nice price for this. I've been searching for this game forever, and that's Haunting Ground. Complete. Really nice shape. These were $1 a piece at a garage sale. Also, there was a Crash Bandicoot for $1, but I already flipped that. Original Crash for PS1. They are The Adventures of Cookie and Cream. I think these are both complete. Yeah, complete. And Mega Man Anniversary Collection, which I didn't actually have complete. Not a huge Mega Man fan. I know that's blasphemy to some people, but it doesn't do much for me. But I asked her, actually, after seeing this, if she had any more games, and she said, yeah, I've got a... Well, actually, at first, she said, well, what do you mean? Like, what kind of old games? Like, well, maybe Nintendo and stuff like that? She said, well, you mean like the old plastic ones? Yeah, I have a system in here. Pulls out a Jungle Green 64 with about 11 games, a couple controllers. I kept a racing controller she had that was kind of cool. It's in the other room, though. Unfortunately, the 2 best games were Donkey Kong 64 and Mario Kart 64. I already had those, but she said, including those 2, and the Crash, she would take the $23 I had in my pocket. So I did it because I flipped the system, and Mario Kart and Donkey Kong for quite a bit more than that, which I already did. Those are gone. You keep the rest of the games, mostly junk. I'll run through them real quick. Yeah, I have the other 9 here. We have Aero Fighters Assault. Not all of these are ones I really cared about, but none of them are really worth enough to be worth selling. Donald Duck Going Quackers. You never know, that could be fun. I like Disney games sometimes. Ready to Rumble. Shockingly did not have that. I had the PlayStation version, but not the 64. NHL 99. 64 is more fun for multiplayer. Monster Truck Madness 64. Army Men Sargent Heroes 2. Monaco Grand Prix. Actually, I already had that on Dreamcast, but not on the 64 again. Turok Rage Wars. Did not have it. Have Turok 1 and 2, but needed that and still need 3. And the best one of the lot, actually, that I'm keeping. I'm glad to have this, even though I had the Dreamcast version. Hydro Thunder. I love the Hydro Thunder game. Well, game. There was the sort of sequel, whatever it was called. It wasn't Hydro Thunder, though. God, we're already at 30 minutes. I'm so sorry for the length of this. We had one more online pickup. It was $84, I think. And it was not cheap by any means, but I've been wanting this for a long time. And that is the Crusader of Senti for the Sega Genesis. Glad to pick that up, even though it's cartridge only. Really am getting down to it, I swear. We've only got this last weekend's finds now. Unfortunately, I had a big weekend. But, picked these up at half-price books, actually. This one was the price it says on it. $9.99 for Resident Evil. Didn't have the remake. Really cool game, actually. And for $9.99, I was happy to get it. However, I also had a 50% off coupon, and I could have used it on that if I hadn't found this. But I'd gone in earlier in the week and seen this in amazing shape, so I had them set it aside. Because you can put a hold on the store for up to a week. It's priced at $39.99, and that is Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2 for the GameCube. So I got it for $19.99 after the 50% off. Really nice deal. Really great game, actually, if you're into it. I used to enjoy it some. It was never a favorite of mine, but I do like it. And for the price, I couldn't really pass it up. Let's see here. This I found this weekend. For a minute, I thought it was sealed. Turns out it was a reseal. And actually, it's even missing the manual. But what the heck, for $1, I can flip it and make a few bucks, even though the box is a little rough. That is Pokemon Puzzle League for the N64. Cartridge is in here. I don't know if you can see it. Not that way. God, this box is crap. It looks okay from a distance, but when you get close, you can see there's definitely some damage. Still, though, for $1, you can kind of see the cart in there. Yeah, whatever. It's $1. Had the cart. Had all the rest of the paperwork. It was just missing the manual. Old Blockbuster copy. Got stickers and stuff, but whatever. For $1, for a complete game. Then I got a bunch of other games and stuff. These were $1 a piece, actually, at a different sale. The only reason I grabbed them was because they had the dust covers on them. For $1 a piece, though, Bassmasters Classic and Full Throttle. Whatever, Super Nintendo games. I don't find a lot of them. Like I said, it's been a kind of a slow period for those. So for $1 a piece, I was cool with it. Then we had a sale with a ton of PlayStation games and a single 64 game. Most of them were not very good games, but they were really, really cheap. And I hate buying games just because they're cheap that I don't really want. But when they're this cheap, I have a hard time passing on them, to be honest. So I bought them. Yeah. Trying to get them all out of this box, sorry. First one, 50 cents, a PS1 controller. It's the DualShock one. I always see this at thrift stores for like $2. I've been wanting an extra controller or two, so for 50 cents I grabbed it. I don't actually have a lot of PlayStation controllers. This was $0.25, and I didn't have it. WrestleMania 2000, whatever, not a great game by any... Well, actually, I've heard good things about that one. So, you know, for $0.25, I'm not a big wrestling fan, I guess is the best way to put it. But the price was right. This one was also $0.25. It's disc only, it wasn't in a case, but I think it'll work okay. It's the original Grand Theft Auto for the PlayStation for $0.25. The rest of these were 50 cents. Tekken, didn't have it. Rogue Trip. Didn't have it, and I've heard actually that's a pretty fun game. You Don't Know Jack, Mach 2. So there were some good ones in here, so I'm saving some of the better ones for the end because the next few are junk. Star Wars Masters of Terras Cassia, I've played it. It's not a very good game, but whatever, 50 cents. Ninja Shadow of Darkness, I've heard really bad things about this, but I'm kind of curious. I remembered hearing about how bad it was back in the day, so 50 cents. And I don't know anything about this really, to be honest. It's an interplay game, which is not a great sign, but Red Asphalt. Interplay of this period, I should say. Older interplay games are great. This one I should have definitely checked beforehand, but to be honest, for 50 cents I probably would have grabbed it anyway. But it's kind of annoying to get home and find a disc is missing. But that's Metal Gear Solid, another copy, Blackheart, but the case is broken. There is a manual, it's in rough shape though, and it's missing disc 1. So, kind of disappointing, but 50 cents for disc 2 in the broken case and the manual. I can make my money back, certainly, and then maybe a couple bucks, not much, but I'll make a little bit on it. So, it's disappointing, but I had just picked up another copy anyway, so not the end of the world. There were 2 other games in that lot. The first one, case is a little cracked, but the disc's in great shape. Street Fighter Alpha 3, didn't have this, in any version of it actually. And cracked case, no manual, but Monster Rancher. The original. Disc is really nice, despite the fact that the rest of it isn't. And Monster Rancher is not a cheap game, so for 50 cents I was glad to get it. Picked this up for $1. Whatever. Cool, it's complete. Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit 2 for the Xbox. I like Need for Speed. They're fun games. Work for me. Down to the final 3 finds of this last weekend. Guy didn't have any games out except for a couple of really junky PS2 ones, but I asked him, you have any older games? And he said, like, what do you mean? I said, well, Nintendo, Sega. He's like, I got some Sega CD and Sega Genesis games. Runs in and brings them out. The Genesis games were junk. But the Sega CD games were not all. He had Mansion of Hidden Souls as well, but he said, oh, I like that game a lot. I don't want to sell it, actually, because I'm keeping my system. Apparently he had a CDX, which he didn't want to sell either, which sucked. I would have killed for a CDX. But I did get Sonic CD with the manual. He had 2 copies of this, actually, is the only reason he sold it. He still plays his system, which is cool. You know what? I can appreciate that. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going to... I appreciate that you still play your old school games. That's really cool. Even though you're not like a collector and you don't know what you know the values and stuff. Next, it's a dual pack. It's got the Sega Classics, Echo the Dolphin. Didn't have either of those. Both discs are in there. And he had both manuals. I was cool with that. Also, he had 1 Virtual Boy game and 2 Virtual Boy instruction manuals. I didn't grab the game. I kind of regret that now. But the money didn't have the game for it. I asked if I could have the manual, and he said, yeah, because I actually have the game if I ever pick up a Virtual Boy system. That's Mario Tennis, the manual. That's cool, free, basically. He didn't charge anything extra, I don't think, for that. And finally, complete in the box, really nice shape. I already have it, so this will be a flip, but this will make me back a good chunk of money, actually. That is Dark Wizard for the Sega CD. Great, great game. It was cool to see this, even though I already have it. Really nice shape. Would have preferred a Snatcher, but beggars can't be choosers. Okay. Final 2 scores. Guess I'll do this one first. I don't really know how to value this, to be honest. I paid $5 complete, and it's worth a heck of a lot more than that. That is a Microvision. Yeah, it's complete in the box with the Blockbuster game in here. Haven't been able to test it yet because I don't have any 9-volt batteries. Comes with Blockbuster's manual, though. The game's in there. So not complete, and the box is kind of rough, but still really cool to have. And a boxed game for it. Pinball. Which also is in there. Although no sign of... the manual is underneath, actually, so it does even have the manual. Very cool to have those. Microvision was not high on my priority list or anything, but for $5, I was not going to pass on it. You see that for $5, and you just know you got to have it. Last find of the day. was not my last find of the day, but last find to show you from that day. Walk up and I see this. This is actually the same sale I grabbed that Need for Speed for. I saw those Xbox games. It's the only one I had any interest in. But I look up to another table and I see this, and I'm just shocked. I've never seen one in the wild before. I actually don't think I'd ever seen one before. I was shocked by how huge it was. It's complete. I don't have like all the cables out here with me, so we're in my game room still. But it's complete and it works fantastic. I mean, really, I don't have any retro systems that boot up this quick. It was shocking how quickly it booted up and how well it works. He had $15 written on it, but without me even asking, he said, I got $15 on it, but I'll take 10 for the whole box. I handed him a $10 bill so freaking fast, you have no idea. It's an Atari 5200. Yeah, this thing's huge. I could not believe it. This thing's bigger than an Xbox. Came with all the cords you need to hook it up. 6 controllers, including several with overlays for some of the games. Football and Pac-Man have overlays. Unfortunately, of the 6 controllers, 3 of them work 2 of them work very well. 1 of them works pretty well. 1 of them kind of works. 2 of them don't work at all. I'll sell the 2 that don't work at all, maybe one of the ones that works well, just so I can make some money back on this, because I know the controllers on this sell really well. But it also, in addition to that, came with 8 games. Nothing amazing, but you got Super Breakout, Jungle Hunt, Football and Tennis, Pole Position, cool game to have. Frogger, torn label, but whatever. And I'm not sure where the last one is. No, there it is. Never mind. Miss Pac-Man, as I showed you the overlay for it, Pac-Man. Very cool to get that. And there was one more piece, actually, which is probably worth 5-6 times what I paid for just the whole lot. And that's the trackball controller. Yeah, I got the trackball. I was so excited about this. This thing works great. I tested it. A little dusty. I should probably clean it up, but works fantastic, and I really, really enjoy this. So, yeah, that's one of my better finds of the summer. I've been having a great month, obviously. Comment, please comment, like, whatever below. If you got any comments, if the lighting's terrible, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This has been 147 signing out.